Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel about fireproofing dwellings against the action of wildfires. I cannot say this enough. The main objective of this project is to save lives, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how to fireproof your openings, mainly your windows or doors. So this was a late subject that we were meant to make a video. We made a video before about fireproofing the walls and fireproofing your roof, but now let's talk about openings. So, again, full disclosure, our research team has no financial interest in the materials of the companies that are here presented. This research project is not supported by the private construction industry, and this is a non-sponsored video, and all guidelines are technically free for everyone. So, ignition locations and verification needs. So, we already presented this a few videos ago. We did some surveys. We analyzed some reports from other specialists concerning problems about ignitions in houses due to wildfire, and we spot on the main problems about that start the ignition in dwellings. Basically, the roof. It's basically the roof, then comes the windows, openings, doors, and sometimes even the porch and the columns in the exterior. You also had secondary attack points like the garden near the house, or extra openings maybe on the roof or even on the walls, okay, that are not protected. All of these need to be fireproof. So, how to apply this to wildfire? So once again, we only have at the moment rules to fireproof dwellings for interior fire. So we will extrapolate those rules once again for openings in dwellings. So a dwelling must withstand about 60 minutes of a ISO standard fire. In the case that a nearby house is also burning due to wildfire, the exterior one next to that one will indeed resist at least 60 seconds. So this is a conservative application for wildfires. So the enveloped dwelling facade fire reaction must be at least reaction B or C. C is normally for the roof, although we always recommend B even for the roof. But for the openings we need clearly B, and they should also be S2 and D0 according to the European standards, okay, for fire reaction. Remember, these verifications are for indoor standard fires in buildings. They are very conservative, of course, and they might not be the most economic one to apply to wildfires. We are doing research on this, and we will soon have new constructive guidelines that are more conservative, applied only to wildfires. But at the moment, these fireproof construction guidelines we are presenting here will save lives, although they're more expensive. So elements to fireproof or even avoid, basically. So elements to fireproof: windows, frame, and even the glasses, okay, if the glass is not protected. Door element and even its frame, okay, so you can have like a metallic door, and then if you have like a wood frame, you may have an ignition. Balcony, porch, and the entrance. Preferably, if you want to fireproof your houses, don't have balconies or porches, okay? Suggestions for the openings and entrance of windows should be preferably protected by an exterior aluminum cover. That's enough. We will see this in detail further. The windows, if they're not protected, then preferably you should have some type of fireproof glass or even an aluminium exterior shutter with a good fireproof core, okay? The door should also be protected by aluminium covered or an armored or a fireproof security door, whatever you want to call it, and no windows, okay? Clearly no windows. Balcony and porch, and even an entrance should be avoided. If they exist, they should be made only of concrete and ceramic blocks. Once again, no wood or combustible materials near. So, once again, this is part of a published work that we publish on the American Society of the Engineers. You can check our construction guidelines. There's an open access file you can go to using ResearchGate. I left the link in the description box below if you guys want to see it. This also came, if you want an extended version, although only in Portuguese, about these constructive fireproof guidelines. You can check the Master Thesis of Teresa Tenreiro from Instituto Superior Técnico. So recommended type of structure. Again, we already talked about this in previous video, but I'll still rephrase it again. Due to ignition, most of dwellings were made of wood. Okay, this is true. The ignition of dwellings were those mostly made of wood. So this type of structural solution should be avoided. Okay, I'm not saying it's not possible. Avoidable. The dwelling must possess preferably a concrete structure. Okay, and the windows preferably aluminium. So wood and steel structures can still be used, but they require higher care in insulating the structural elements to protect the structural elements. So these are still possible, and we will see some of these in the near future. Not in this video today, but another video. So recommended window protection. So the best recommendation for the window is a normal aluminium frame window with an exterior aluminium cover. The aluminium cover should be plain. Why? To prevent the entrance of any firebrand, so it should be completely plain, no openings. And the internal core of this aluminium exterior cover should possess a good fireproof element. So, for example, rock wool that still provides also good thermal insulation. Okay. Another solution. I understand you might not like the previous solution, so I'm going to the first solution again. Remember, the first solution is maybe the most expensive one, because we know aluminium is quite expensive. Once again, this is the best solution. I'm going to present another solution. This solution prevents the contacts of the flames with the window, and also prevents, remember, it's not only a problem of the flames of the burning trees that are in contact with the dwelling, is also the problem of accumulation and projection of firebrands that go in contact with the window, may break the window and produce an interior fire. Okay, so there's another possibility that also works, also protects with firebrands, is you have an exterior aluminium shutter. Okay, it should preferably be with bright colors to minimize the heat radiation, or more precisely, the heat radiation absorption due to the wildfire. But these shutters should have an internal fireproof core. Okay, there are some examples. I'm giving you examples. De Bravent, they have these solutions. You can even inject them inside your shutters. Okay, but basically they only slow down the spread of the flames and droplets and gases. Okay, they are quite good, but they only slow down. They do not prevent. But it's still a good solution. Okay. The worst solution, not the worst in terms of economics, is the fire-resistant glass. Also, again, it only slows down the spread of the flames, droplets, and gases, and is the most expensive solution. Okay, you require a minimum thickness about 25 millimeters. Okay, normally you will need 2 panels just to get acoustic comfort. Okay, we do not recommend these solutions, although it's still possible. It's the most expensive. Again, for fire contacts, direct fire contact of the flames, and also firebrand, this solution also works. There are other new Windows recommendations. We're not going to talk about it because they are still on testing. There are new PVC frames that are, and new fire resistance glass. There are, let's say untested fireproof solutions at the moment. I'm not going to completely talk about them, but they exist. Okay. Further tests are necessary, but for example, normally the melting point of PVC is around 400 degrees, so we still don't know. Maybe it's good for firebrands, but not as good for direct flame contact. For example, some manufacturers, example Kaishav, already sells PVC with fire reaction B, which is very, very, very good. Recommended for door protection. And I told you, the best solution is an armored security door. Okay, you got the protection, you got the fire resistance, you got the thermal insulation. Okay, but this is the most expensive. It guarantees also soundproofing. You will not hear your external residents talking. Okay, but once again, the most expensive solution. If you put this solution, I'll promise you, no fire will ever enter inside your house through the door. The other solution, a very simple solution, just like in the windows, an exterior aluminium cover for the doors, using the same fireproof concept for the windows. The exact same thing is also acceptable and very good. Okay, you still get the same resistance of 60 minutes. Again, the aluminium cover should be plain, no vents, to prevent, once again, why? The direct contact of the firebrands. Basically, the projection of firebrands during the wildfire. This solution is cheaper, although we know aluminum at the moment is quite expensive. So now we need to fireproof also the perimeter between the walls and the windows. As we said in the previous video, we provide a solution provided by our ARC, okay, in which the perimeter of the openings, basically the windows and the doors, in the contact with the walls, they should not be the weak point. Therefore, they need a specialized fireproofing. Okay, this is not very difficult. Okay, there are specialized people that install this during your construction of your dwelling. Okay, so these perimeters should also be fireproof. Do not disregard a small flame contacting this perimeter or even a firebrand. Okay, let's be honest. The greatest problem here, the greatest problem here is the direct contact of the firebrand. Okay, so this also needs fireproofing. This solution we truly recommend. You got a resistance of 60 minutes with this solution. So for old openings in old dwellings, so here we also have some research, but we're not going to present it. There are some applications for old dwellings, even for old wood with combustible frame windows and doors, okay, throughout. There are solutions, coatings, or even extra protection we can put on these old woods. But at the moment, we are not going to talk about this. We're going to leave this again for a future video. So expectancies after the passage of the wildfire. So once again, our solutions provide a fireproof solution. It guarantees your house will not burn due to the wildfire, and you will survive for at least 60 minutes. Okay, this is more than enough. We already know that when the wildfire sweeps a dwelling, it does in less than 30 minutes. So 60 minutes is double what you need. So these solutions are quite good. In any case, when you are hit by a wildfire, I can promise you some damage may occur in your house. You may need to paint it again. There will be some small coat repairing may even be necessary, okay? In any case, the safety of the residents, the most important thing, as we told again and again in this channel, will be guaranteed, okay? So remember, when you're hit by a wildfire, your structure may turn black, just like these ovens. That's why I like to put this oven, but it will survive. This is the most important. Conclusions. Just wrapping it up. Windows should possess preferably an exterior aluminum cover to prevent the flame and the firebrand contact. Preferably no walls or vents should be present in this exterior aluminum cover, either for the windows or the doors. Okay. The window door combination material should be at least reaction B, and of course reaction B is non-combustible, not burn or ignite. The security armor door or fireproof door, whatever you want to call it, is the best solution, but the most expensive. Okay. Well, that's all for today. I hope you guys liked it. Like, share with your friends, hit that like button, comment below, whatever you want. I don't know, whatever helps to promote these videos, because remember, we are doing this research to save lives. That's our main objective. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you in the next one.